in these NA qualifiers. Winner goes to grand finals. Loser has to wake up a bit earlier tomorrow. Not so bad.
It could be worse. It really could be. But, you know, some gamers really lament that very early start time. They're not used to it. Even though, you know, if you're in NA, you're playing EU pubs. You got to wake up a little earlier anyway. So, sure, they get used to it. But the highest quality Dota we've seen in the tournament so far. Double smoke, double ward placed, very deep vision. Good stuff so far.
We've seen a couple of early brawls happen. Both of these teams have been involved in some of those fights. Doesn't seem like it's going to happen this time around. Like, position to break smokes and to act as a bulwark against any kind of aggression towards Stormstormer. He will succeed. I'm not sure he's going to ping out this ward though. TSM making sure they get some advanced vision down bottom as well. Really curious about how this top lane is going to work out. This Earth Spirit Shadow Demon. I don't think I've really seen this in the offlane before. Have you come across it, and what do you think it should do on paper?
No, it's very weird. It's very different. They've got a ton of magic damage potential, but it's something where as soon as Lelis gets 2 points up in the Shadow Poison, then they can suddenly become very, very aggressive. But until then, they're kind of just playing that waiting game. But Fly, well, gets the attendance out, TP's the tower.
Fine.
Yeah, it'll be okay.
But he did have to pop attendance. That does kind of suck. So, does mitigate what they can do in the lane, but level 2 is not that far away. Should be A-okay.
No,
Nice
look at
little
the
blocks
games.
from Kasane. Alright, what do you think about this? Where do we expect this lane to be going down bottom?
It should be pretty slow. Of course, you've got double melee versus double range, so even approaching for these last hits is going to be a little bit more difficult. I wouldn't be surprised if Immersion gets an early point up in the shards, just so that way he can try and fight for these range creeps safely, even though typically you don't want to have to worry about that. We could even see him go for some creep pulling, because this lane is not too fun. Once Yuma gets that second point up in Lunar Blessing, then Fly can really make the trades go in their favor, but it's boring until then. It is just simply trading out versus 7, 8 armor heroes. Not the easiest thing to do. That's where top lane's definitely more interesting. Everybody's lower HP, everybody's got more magic damage to play around with. The only one who really isn't in any danger is Tomato. He should be fine no matter what. It's where, unfortunately, the Shadow Demon, he's got that big burst of damage, but just simply trading into you, right-clicking, it's not what the hero's known for.
Farm away. I'm also curious what Gunner's going to build on this Earth Spirit. Are we going to be going heads in for the Spirit Vessel as per normal? Is there some kind of funky new tech beyond that? Or is Blade Mail Hearts after the Spirit Vessel still a bit too good this patch? We'll see.
Yeah, could see that, could see the urn. I think the most important aspect of this top lane is that Lelis eventually just gets out of here. Try and turn this off lane into a secondary mid lane, because you need levels on Earth Spirit. You do not get damage very quickly. If Lelis ends up sapping too much, he can't even make very good rotations through the Twin Gate. It's where Shadow Demon, again, is not very known for that bombastic play. He's much more equipped for stacking those Ancients for the Luna later on, which means just give the XP to Gunner. Just try to make space elsewhere.
Speaking of elsewhere, this mid lane, boring as hell. Not really much happening at the moment. We do see that after this wave, Stormstormer should still be slightly ahead in CS, but everything is kind of boring here. Unfortunately, Tusk kind of has his hands full down bottom, so don't anticipate him making a rotation middle for quite a little bit of time just yet. At least until he's reasonably certain Kasane can handle it.
Yeah. And oh my god, he got the bash.
Yuma. Oh my god, he got the bash. The tag team coming out of this. Snowball as well. Yuma looking to be the first blood, but Fly with the body blocks and the Nature's Attendance, keeping his carry player alive, allowing Yuma to survive, back off into the tier 1 tower, and regen up to continue the trading later.
Yeah, and that's why that hero's so stupid. Random bash equals almost getting a kill for free. Very scary situation. You win the Lotus fight as well by forcing all these heroes underneath their tower already. Oh, Spirit Breaker. We're gonna say goodbye to you Monday, but for now, you're TSM's best friend.
TSM really enjoying themselves with Kasane so far. On the other side of the map, things a lot more even. Void farming, Earth Spirit farming, supports pulling around. Yet another game that we're seeing with relatively little activity. Yet another game that involves TSM. We saw a game earlier today that went like, what, 5 minutes before the first kill?
Mm-hmm. They like playing that patient style of Dota. They know their power spikes so well. I think legitimately the best time we're going to see a kill attempt or a play happen is once Immersion gets his boots of speed, get a few more levels on the Phoenix, and then we see a smoke attempt mid. If you can keep Stormstormer's bottle dry, don't give him any active runes, keep that wind just power shotting in the mid lane, it's going to maintain that draw, but it's a draw that you want. It's where we'll probably see a Midas coming out from the Dazzle. We'll see how greedy he decides to get on that hero, but in the meantime, Nouns are also okay with that draw. They want this game to go slow. Like I said earlier, they're very XP-hungry heroes. Everybody needs to wait for a lot of their damage to really ramp up. But Kasana, yeah.
Oh, he actually juked out Yuma like a boss. Able to get past the pincer maneuver, get home, and it's Spirit Breaker so he can TP home to safety and not worry too much about the Walk of Shame. Still, a nice little reprieve, right? More time for Yuma to start putting in his own CS.
No, Immersion makes the wave, or takes the wave, is going to try to get it in between the towers here, which he will. Very perfect support play coming in from the Tusk right now. Gets a nice little reset for Kasane, but no twin gate rotation so far in this game. Nobody's kind of moved out of their lanes just yet. Playing that, again, very slow style of Dota. They know what they want out of these lanes. They're getting what they want out of the lanes. Why mess it up? Just keep on playing, keep the aggro, keep farming under the tower. All these creep waves have been in a really difficult position for the Phoenix and Tusk to make rotations, so they're the ones to move. On Nouns, they're much more happy that this is that slower pace. But Immersion, mid lane, scouted out by Fly, so don't know if this is necessarily going to work out here, but this is all just to keep that bottle dry from the wind.
6-minute power plus runes coming up right now. Fly, though, able to zone away Immersion from the bottom one. It's unfortunately spawning top for Bryle. And we might see some aggression onto one of these Hellbear Smashers. But Immersion, oof, long range power shot from Stormstormer. Almost kills off this Tusk. A little bit too tanky, though. Ends up surviving.
Yeah. And Bryle had a haste rune. He would have maybe gone for that aggression onto Fly, but he also knows Tusk is a little bit too low. If I go over, make him stop the TP of the Enchantress, I'm probably killing my Tusk. He's much happier just keeping things quiet. But Stormstorm's got to go back to base. Not really a trip that he minds. He's wind. He's pretty fast. He's pretty quick on his feet. We'll see if he maybe decides to TP to a lane before he ends up heading back mid. But again, it's almost 7 minutes into the game. No action. Very, very different pace. I think both these teams really respecting each other right now. But Gunner's getting closer to that level 6. He's really the one who's going to blink first. But Yuma, there we go.
Yeah. They caught him with enough damage. They bring him down. Very nicely done by Nouns in the gang. And with this Wildwing Ripper able to tank up the tower, they can do significant damage to the tier 1 with the Siege Dragon behind them. Immersion knows this. Tries to debilitate it as much as he can, but at least a quarter of the HP is going to be taken away here, maybe even up to half.
Yeah, and that's the cost. Immersion being out on the map so long, not there when his teammate needs him, but at the same time, you're Spirit Breaker. It's okay if you have a bad early game. It really does not matter. You get Phase Boots, you get Midas, get your Octarine. We've seen 0-7 Spirit Breakers still get to that point eventually, especially at TI. In the meantime, Whiteman got a little bit annoying there. Pushed into the Radiant Triangle, tried to steal a stack, but just pushed Nouns into farming the stack. So really no harm, no foul.
On the stack, they all get back to their lanes before the waves arrive at the tower. It's like they never even left, but they should be able to kill Fly here. He's getting charged into. He might not even need the charge, but he dies nonetheless. Stormstormer try to find revenge, but he's the one that tanks the charge instead, taking so much damage from the Sunray. Tag team next to it as well. And they bring down the Wind Ranger. Kasane doesn't have level 6, but he has a lot of HP, so he's going to run forward, using his body to get the vision on the Shadow Demon. That should result in a kill on Laylas. And 3 heroes die around the mid lane. Great play from TSM.
Oh no, it's brutal. Just that vision transfer, the aspect of the charge that people sometimes forget. and absolutely caught Stormstormer off guard there. Didn't have another win run up, had already committed himself into the fight. Doesn't help that Kasane also bashed him there on the way out. Just too much damage, and they bring everyone. They bring absolutely the correct amount of heroes that they need to win that engagement. And then back to the lanes, like nothing ever happened. It's where Gunnar now, though, has that Magnetize, has the level 6 on the Earth Spirit, so it's his turn to make a play happen.
It's kind of hard though, right? Where do you go right now? You need multiple heroes to kill Kasane. Can't just show up alone. Killing this Dazzle, who's just hiding in the trees when you don't have the vision is tough. And it's TSM doing a fantastic job, I think, controlling the movement on the map. And they're coming middle as well, Immersion. Maybe trying to go in right behind Stormstormer. You know, they can have Kasane back them up. He finds the D ward, but okay, he's actually being abandoned by the crew. Snowballs onto Fly just to delay the inevitable. But he will die. Kasane, though, is coming in with the charge, and he's not scared of this. Gunnar, though, is also nearby. So they might be forced to disengage here. Magnetize out onto this Phoenix. Should end up being the death of him. Disruption ensures this outcome. At the same time, Kasane, with the ultimate onto Gunnar, almost brings him down with the assistance of Braille, but Gunnar rolls away at the very last second. Okay.
Oh, goodness. Ugh. One tick away. Maybe a slightly stronger death touch, and we lose Gunnar there, but very fortunate. But again, trying to get aggressive here on Immersion, but doesn't seem like that play is going to work. Trying a few too many things now in the mid lane. Definitely over-rotating just a bit there on TSM. And for the first time in the tournament so far, the support levels on TSM are not great. They've actually had to take a step back. It's where nouns are actually outdoing them a little bit, being able to farm and be a part of these stacks. Fly might be in a little bit of trouble, though.
Well, some of that experience you're talking about will be redistributed. TSM showing their communist credentials, taking some of the experience, giving it to their supports. It's going to bring up Immersion to level 5 and a little bit closer to the Blink Dagger as well, which is queued up to assist them quite greatly, make the team even more aggressive than they already are.
Yep, absolutely. In the meantime, everybody gets their stack game on, starts farming up, auto refill for Stormstormer, and we're in a kind of awkward pause now. At this point of the game, Tomato doesn't want to rotate out of the top lane. They've got Egg now for their Phoenix, but there's no big team fight that anybody can start right now very easily. We're almost waiting for Magnetize again here for Nouns before they make another play, but smoking up with Immersion. Watch that win run.
He's so dead. So his mates, they're gonna try and save you. Let's see what Lilas can do with the disruption. But here they come with the Supernova. Kasane going to the far edge of the fight, looking for the win range, and he does find her. The distraction of the Supernova works, but it costs the life of this Phoenix. Gunnar, in the meantime, also brought down by Tomato, all the way on the top side of the map. And the skirmish middle does not end up panning out for Nouns. They end up losing Stormstormer. They lose Gunnar on the other side without assistance. And TSM continue to get away with murder right now.
Yeah, I'm actually kind of confused there. It looks like Gunnar actually instigated that fight. He used Magnetize and I'm assuming attempted for a kill onto the Faceless Void, but a Maelstrom Treads Void was enough to kill him. Very, very peculiar. He's got max levels in Time Lock, so I guess just had enough damage, but very, very peculiar. Not a kill that I'm assuming Gunnar was ready to give up there, but hey, Egg died. Supports were on it. I think he missed his Fire Spirits going in, so it ended up being a pretty easy kill, but check this out. Ryle, there's the disconnect.
Super dead. And not even gonna bother with that much effort. They kill him off quite easily. Lila's the one credited with the kill. And that's before the Geo Grip that they can make this happen. So once that's online, life becomes even more difficult for Brown.
Yeah. Tier 1. First one of the game. Gonna start toppling as Whiteman. Running away, but...
Oh. Where are you running from? It's Gunnar on the mission. Gunnar on the case. Chases him and gets the kill, but here comes Tomato. Doesn't have the Chronosphere available, so will not be able to fully threaten Fly. But Kasane might be able to. But as he rolls in, he questions the wisdom of rolling without adequate vision, so... Cancels the charge from the Spirit Breaker, cancels the roll from the Earth Spirit, and everybody goes back to their ways.
Yep. It is now just dawning on me how long a game we might be in for, though. Midas just got finished up on the Spirit Breaker. Everybody's going to want to take this late. At least Bryle isn't going for a Midas as well. With his Ags, he can at least cause some plays with the Dazzle. But everyone else, we're in for a farm fest. We're in for that efficiency game. And we'll have to see, because Yuma, especially, off to a great start. Just took a 5-stack of Ancients, has been in the triangle for a good bit now. He is really hitting those marks right now.
It's 2:30 in the morning for me, so let's see if this series takes me into sunrise. Down the middle is in a little bit of danger here. He should not go for this rune. To be fair, there's no chrono, so he wasn't under that much threat. But they might have been baiting with the smoke from the supports behind. Immersion desperately wants a kill to close in on the Blink Dagger. And maybe they see Stormstormer here. It is daytime, so they have better vision. They see him, but can they actually reach him? Sani's thinking about it, but with the maxed out wind run, it's not that easy of a kill underneath the tier 1 tower. It looks like they're going to let this one go. A decision I'd probably agree with.
Yeah, the wave's getting nuked. It's very difficult for them to push in. They do want to force it, though. Having a situation where all of Nouns have to suddenly TP into an egg that's already going off. We've already seen that pan out earlier today. It's a really miserable situation to be in, but Stormstormer also navigates out. Knows that I'm going to cause a really bad situation if I stick around. Maybe they think he went through the twin gate, but Immersion's going to double check just in case. But then the mid wave gets pushed in, and everybody needs to start filling in these lanes.
Here comes 3-hero Chronosphere from Yuma with the perfectly laid over Supernova, but the Supernova came a little bit too late. So it only pops onto Gunner. Now here's a turnaround from Nouns. Yuma popping the Eclipse, but needing to get out of here because Kasane is just charged in, finding the Nether Strike onto the Luna. Her demise will be delayed with the disruption, and it will be delayed wholesale. They somehow heal her up with the Nature's Attendance. Stormstormer, in fact, uses the ultimate to kill Whitemon. What a turnaround from Nouns. They lose Gunner, but that could have been the worst thing ever. Given how it was set up, ET, I thought they were going to at least lose 2 in that situation. It might happen now, though. Stormstormer stepped up a little bit too far, but they do not have the damage or the control to hold him in position. This fight might not be over just yet, though, because Fly looks like he wants some. But with the attendance, they realize killing Enchantress actually not possible, and TSM will see the tier 1 tower.
Yeah, they do glyph it, though, which is kind of interesting. That's not getting refreshed, but they're just trying to delay as much as they can. But Fly with the skeleton creep, it's a little bit too difficult, and that is the cost. Super long cooldowns, no chrono, no egg, no way to re-engage or defend, and that's where Nouns can immediately just move in wherever they want. They just immediately take those structures where TSM have to be very, very careful. The only thing that really counteracts that is those long respawn timers later on in the game, but we are playing that waiting game. It's Kasane, nighttime, they see him into the trees, but Fly is not equipped to lock down a Spirit Breaker. No hero in the game is equipped to lock down Spirit Breaker, unfortunately.
Whitemon, he will not necessarily be walked on, but shot out the sky by Stormstormer. He's acting as some anti-air cannon in this game. Getting himself closer and closer to the BKB Blink, the usual build-up for this hero. You know which hero we haven't seen much of? Well, Gunner's about to die bottom. Feels bad, fam. Oh, is he? Oh, the roll away. He was inside the eye shards, but they didn't block off the escape path. Gunner. This is the kind of stuff we saw at TI. Why it's not surprising that even in the off lane they decide to give him this hero. On the other side of the map though, Tomorrow yet again being frustrated by the realization that killing Fly with attendance on and the ultimate, practically impossible.
Yeah, same with Stormstormer here. Kind of a freebie with that shield rune, and now Whiteman isn't gonna die, but man, it hurts. Stormstormer, the only one to do this as well. The specialty hero pick for him is just so obnoxious. Not that he's even falling behind. He's third highest in net worth. He's very relevant on the map. He's kind of being this annoying hero to poke and prod you. And we have not seen a clean kill on him in a very long time. But TSM have gotten through it. They've got all their ultimates back up again. They wanted to, could wait till daytime before going for another smoke play. Or they could start pushing the envelope here. They could go either route at this point, because currently, Nouns don't feel like pushing up onto that next objective. Tier 2s are a little bit too difficult. This is where Luna just wants to send her Ancients, farm up, get a little bit more damage, and then maybe look at an Aegis before she ever wants to get near those tier 2 towers. Because you don't need to push it. Don't push your luck. You've got this double BKB timing coming up for nouns, so that's going to be probably the waiting game for a little bit, but then after that, they're going to look for those TSM objectives.
I love the fact that in this game, both carries practically have the same score. Tomato is 2-0-0, Yuma is 1-0-1. They are doing nothing but just ricing it up. Some old-fashioned 4 Protect 1 Dota from both of them, whilst their team run around attempting to murder each other. To be fair, Tomato has shown up a little bit more often, but even then, very, very happy to just get as big as humanly possible.
We're just waiting. We're waiting. The Midases are ticking away, though. I'm glad Gunnar got his. Keeps that Earth Spirit very relevant. Means that he's not going to fall behind on levels in the slightest. But now making moves towards this Roche pit. And Nouns feeling like with this 40-second window before Roche goes down towards bottom, they want to try to sneak this Roche. And that's exactly what they need.
They got scanned into. TSM are aware of this. The question is, are they going to come and stop it? And they're thinking about it. 4 heroes are gathering here. And they're showing in the wave. There's an observer ward. They've been scouted. They've been seen. They're going to come for it. And unfortunately, their trip is going to be a little bit too late. Yuma already able to secure the Aegis. The commitment from TSM came a little bit too late. So, despite being aware of the move, unable to stop it.
No. Great decision making. They do see Yuma showing in the middle lane as well as Gunnar showing bottom. So, they still try to catch those stragglers top, but very wisely, they retreat towards the tier 1. TSM, the majority of their lineup, wastes a whole bunch of time, and now it's have their Aegis. As soon as Yuma gets some more resources, or even just stays back out onto the map, they probably swing back up towards that top tier 2 tower. That's that easy objective for them to get next. And the question is, do TSM want to defend? Do they want to go for a smoke, or are they going to continue to dodge? Because eventually Yuma will be strong enough to just stick around near these towers. He's got BKB coming out on the courier right now, so that second life is going to be incredibly difficult to fight around. He is really getting ready for that big team fight. Not to mention, your chrono isn't perfect, Egg is going to die. That's what this en masse BKB purchases from Nouns means. You have to position yourself so much differently. It's a point that typically we haven't seen the players playing against the Phoenix get to, but they can absolutely commit on this Egg. It's where Tomato's got that pressure on top of him. If he ever messes up, he misses out that chrono, it's where they're going to have to stagger their spells perfectly.
Kasane has just finished the disgusting item of the Octarine core. Yay! Now this is when Dota gets fun, very fun. He's not far from level 15 either. Woo! Yeah, wonderful.
Yep.
You gotta love it. He does have to be careful bottom though, because there are several heroes from Nouns who seem intent on reclaiming control of this part of the map. Looks like Fly is on a little bit of a de-warding mission the way he's moving right now.
Yeah, and they're doing the thing. They're crossing the map, trying to get as much farm as possible. After they push in and get that tier 1 bottom, I think you just send the Mantle Illusions down the lane, and then you flip that map towards top again. Even though TSM have some fantastic vision lingering over there, really depends on how fast Nouns want to play with this Aegis. Because, of course, such a fast Roche in the game that Aegis is actually ticking down pretty quickly. Only about 2.5 minutes left on it, but then, well, we might see a smoke from TSM. Then they can actually get a pick. Then they can actually look for a kill. Because right now, the last thing they want to do is Chrono Luna. They're gonna look to avoid her, kill her, save her for last. Everybody else, though, could be a possible gank, but they're not even biting. They're saying, we're farming, we have SB with Octarine Core, we're getting a lot of net worth. Maybe Brow is regretting not having a Midas as well, but there he goes.
So frustrating. They moved through the Twin Gate, Gunnar as well as Fly, hoping that somebody would show that they could kill. And Kasane happily shows, knowing full well that he can't be killed. Very frustrating place. They're actually going to charge in right now, looking for Leelus. They caught him inside vision. They dropped the Supernova as well. With Nether Strike onto the Shadow Demon, they should be able to kill him off. Yuma, though, snakes his way out of danger right now. Several heroes here might be in jeopardy of being re-engaged upon. They don't have their ultimates available. They blew a lot, except the Chrono, to get that only one kill. Nouns will take it.
Yeah. And it's in no man's land. It's a kill that really won't affect the map too much, but if you keep Nouns away from your buildings right now, TSM are happy. Kasane, yeah, see if he feels the danger here. Arcane Rune, and there's the Shackle in between the timings. No bulldoze, silenced.
Nice.
Easy.
There's a reason why they keep giving Stormstormer this Wind Ranger. Looking fantastic right now. And as strong as the Spirit Breaker is, he does not have BKB, does not have any way to get past the silence, so he just gets brought down. We do find some quick revenge on Fly, taking away his army as well. Gonna be some free gold and experience. But there was gonna be an immediate counter from Gunner, who just rolled in from assassinating the Spirit Breaker to hopefully bring down Whitemon, but he misses the rolling boulder. Phoenix able to Icarus dive away to safety.
No, but look at this. He got the BKB and the win run off though, so Tomato, can you actually stay on this kill? And I don't know, with that time lock, things are gonna get a little sketchy here for him, but nope, he dies.
God, he actually dies. You know what's actually crazy about this? While this was happening, Immersion was trying to TP in behind him to save him with the Blink Dagger, and Gunner cancels it through mid from that last engagement. I'm 100% convinced that Tomato thought he was safe. Immersion tells him, don't worry bro, I've got your back if they go on you, but he couldn't go. The assistant's not available. Nice, amazing kill. Leads into a tier 2 tower as well.
No, and the map is going to start to get really small for TSM. Only 10 more seconds on this Aegis, so it's fine. But you committed Chrono, you got nothing, and I'm not sure if that's just great reaction from Stormstormer. It kind of has to be, but Tomato was unable to find that correct spacing. And you can still keep aggressive on these objectives. You know they don't have Chrono, you've got BKB Luna. The game plan hasn't really changed for Yuma. He can still stay out on the map just like he has been. And now they're really going to start to cook here. They want to move in. Anybody dies on their side of the map, and then suddenly you're on these objectives. All these creep waves are pushed in right now. Immersion's trying to push the creep wave out, but he's also on the run. He's on the lam.
Oh my god, there's no way, dude. Let's see how good you do it. Oh my god, dude. Look at him go. My man is juking it up. He's gonna die, but made it entertaining. Brought us some flair, brought us some style. He actually might still survive. Blink is back up after the snowball. Dude, he's actually out. This guy's a god. While he's doing this though, Stormstorm was assassinating his team. He's still going. He's actually still alive. The stun catches everybody involved here. But at long last, he does end up falling. While the rest of the team are now they're just casually pushing a tier 2 tower.
Yeah, they cut the wave, they get the objective, there's no recourse for TSM. Again, just that wasted Chrono, wasted time, there's no threat. And the net worth lead is starting to balloon. You're starting to see these items, and that added gold just means that pressure is going to be on TSM support. They just don't have enough to work with, or as much to work with as those nouns supports, especially on the SD. The Shadow Demon, a great support to have a ton of net worth on. You've got the Ags, you've got the Ag Shard, you have so much space to grow. Not to mention, you start getting Yule Scepters built up on nouns, then suddenly, well, that SB can get kited. He can get brought down. It's where you have to go for the BKB refresher build, which you pretty much always end up going on SB, but needing it just a little bit sooner. It's net worth that TSM isn't able to pull out of the map right now. And those items are a very, very long time away for Kasane. And Yuma, hunting, he's gonna whiff though. Just got that SB on the courier, so they will move past each other. But the big question of the game, in 50 seconds, will Roche decide to come and play for nouns? Because that is their timing. That sub 30-minute second Roche Aegis on Yuma, pushing down, barking on that tier 3 tower. That's the game plan. That's the way they've drafted up until this point.
Oh, they're gonna try to force a fight first in the event that Roshan does make an early appearance. The Yule Scepter will toss Gunner up into the air, ruining the initiation for now, but at the same time, Stormstormer, he found Bryle all by his lonesome. They haven't been able to kill him off just yet. The snowball delays things as well as a shallow grave, but eventually the kill will happen. Yuma himself and Gunner have more than enough damage. It does cost the Earth Spirit his life though, so that means a much harder chase onto the Spirit Breaker, which enables Kasane to escape away from the fight. But certainly worth it to get the life of Bryle in that situation. Continue to force out these waves, and now they can maybe apply pressure middle. Sadly though, the wave is really pushed in, so not optimal positioning for them, and it's a late respawn on Roshan.
Yeah. Does mean that none of these deaths really affect anything. Also means that I'm pretty sure Egg will be back up if TSM want to go for that contest. Because right now the stakes are, nouns get that next Aegis, they've got a really good push with that second Roche to put pressure onto TSM. if Tomato gets the Aegis, Nouns' game plan is halted pretty much outright until third Roche comes back up. It's where the Luna draft doesn't get easier unless you somehow find a way to kill Tomato twice. It's where if TSM can take that Aegis away from Nouns, the game plan gets very, very messy. It's very, very hard to play post that Roshan not going in your favor. It's where you start looking for that early late game that you don't want to have to go into versus Faceless Void and Spirit Breaker. It's not very pretty.
Charge coming in right now onto Stormstormer. Flew a little bit too close to the sun on that one. Was right underneath an observer ward. He thought he was a little bit safe because there was a ward on the high ground, but it was a false sense of security. Gets punished. That enables TSM to smoke. Roshan is up. I'm not so sure Nouns can take it before TSM arrives. So this might be the opportunity. Look who's coming down. It's Yuma. They have vision. Do they? Where's their dust? Where's their sentries? Yuma walks right past them. Invisibility isn't vulnerability. Will they turn the fight? Stormstormer buys back. He reveals himself all of a sudden. But Yuma, it was a trap. They get the Chronosphere out onto him with the Supernova directly on his face. This Luna will fall. The Supernova pops. It stuns up several heroes, but now they have to run because Stormstormer is here, getting the Shackle Shot out onto Bryle. Gunner helping with the follow-up. Dazzle is down for the count. They force a buyback out of the Tusk. Whitemon also trying to make his way out of this fight, but is not going to be able to do so. The Shackle Shot ensures that Gunner can find a triple kill. And with no Dazzle, no Phoenix, and no Supernova, no Chrono, that means the path to Roshan lies wide open for the Nouns roster.
Yeah, they are already making moves to get it when it goes through that bottom gate, but it's expensive. It's very, very expensive. All of their cores having to buy back like that is not pretty, but you get Yuma and Aegis. You get another chance at that easy victory where Nouns, they break down a tier 3 during this Aegis' time. It's the easy way to win. It's where TSM don't get to bring you to that early late game stage. It's the part of the game that Nouns are trying to avoid it desperately. It's why everybody buys back. They know how important it is. The game goes anywhere past that 45-minute mark, suddenly Nouns are not so happy with the way that things stand. That's where Yumo getting near a tier 3 tower could just die 100-0 to Chrono Egg, which is pretty much what happened just now. And they don't even give him Aegis. They give it to Stormstormer, even though Yuma is right there with him without having buyback, but I guess assuming that Stormstormer, the more fragile of the two, will at least be able to go in with this Blink Dagger, start the fight, give a lot of vision for Gunner when it goes down, but does mean that their siege has to be very, very careful, because Yuma can die in that same situation now. He can die in Chrono if he doesn't get that cheese off.
Honestly, I'm glad that they did this because it's now added an air of danger to this game. Not like it already wasn't there, but makes it more exciting to watch.
No,
honestly, this game has been
does.
excellent, honestly. It's been so good in every respect.
It's that next level of respect that these teams have to give each other that in the stomps that we've watched up until this point, we don't get that same vibe. It really feels like every single player is taking this just so much more seriously than you really can in a 2-0 stomp where, you want to be kind of casual, you want to be chilling. But look at that. Okay. The 4 glaives surrounding Yuma. Funny shard.
There's a lot of very strange shards in the game of Dota2. What can we say? 6k gold lead. It's been this way for a while. It plateaued quite some time ago. But TSM making sure that although they are behind on gold, the relevant heroes continue to escalate in scale. Tomato in particular, you mentioned that if this game goes 45 and beyond, not only will he be unparalleled in terms of damage output, but how on earth do you start to kill this Void past level 25?
Yeah, it's miserable. It's not looking too hot. Fortunately for you, he's not feeling the need to get a BKB, so best case scenario, Gunner can find him with the grip after he pops the Manta, but aside from that, it's a Shackle Shot. It's Stormstormer being aggressive as Kasane all the way through.
Oh my god, he just broke a 4-hero smoke by charging like that. What a player.
Yep. I love Spirit Breaker. He's almost level 21. He's got the 20 talent, which is disgusting. Every talent on that hero feels disgusting. Probably one of the, if not the best level 30 hero in the game as well. So Kasane can look at those points. Every talent is just so stupid. But anyway, They are avoiding. That smoke really did kind of stall out what Nouns wanted to do, though. They're still on that dire side of the map, but Kasane gets the waves in, your mid waves cut. You've got a much more convincing push in bottom, but you still have that danger. Yuma's not very tanky. He doesn't have Satanic yet. He does great damage, but he can still die. It's where if TSM get a fantastic jump, if they can find the Shadow Demon and the Luna, you're in trouble. Even though will show himself to Tomato just now, but the creep waves are cut. Nouns aren't able to find their way onto that objective. Every minute they aren't able to force TSM back into their base, you see 1k gold lead go down. They're just not getting as much net worth out of the map as TSM are with the Spirit Breaker.
What I'm also loving is that both of the carries in this game can play in a similar fashion. Play very high up, knowing that they have guaranteed blink salvation behind them. Tomato has 2 of them. Makes his life a lot easier. Might be forced to employ one of those methods though, as they are smoking in his direction. Do they have awareness of where he's at? The pings go out. They're saying, watch guys, the map is dark, we don't see anybody. Ral instead is going to become the target. Will they be able to get him in time? He gets off the BKB, so he's going to be fine. Snowball's going to be there as well. And they get off the last second Supernova. But Fly destroys it before the Chronosphere goes off. But still, the Chrono catches the Luna, and he bashes her to death. Tomato also found Gunner inside the bubble. So that's 2 cores down for the count. Fly, who's trying to become a core in his own right, will join them, granting Tomato the double kill. 4 heroes have fallen from Nouns. And TSM showing us the power of Dazzle, man. That BKB elongating things long enough, but crucially, that Snowball perfectly positions everybody for Tomato to clean up house.
Yeah, it broke up everything. Tomato spaces it perfectly. He doesn't catch any of his allies. He is unable to save the egg because both the Luna and the Enchantress just immediately turn on it, but it's enough setup. And it very crucially during all of that, Kasane's on Lelis. The Shadow Demon can't play the game. He's behind you. He's causing chaos. There's never a follow-up shackle shot from the wind either because Kasane finds his angle, and it works. It's perfect, and TSM kill any momentum that Nouns had. Yuma's dead for 50 more seconds. You're now seeing Kasane get so much closer towards that 25. All of the levels just start falling in place for TSM, and now it feels like we're almost guaranteed to end up in that late stage, those later games versus Faceless Void Spirit Breaker. It's just gonna be a nightmare.
Let's also not forget that this team has Dazzle. Late game Dazzle. Once he finishes his Arcane Blink, oh my god. Yeah. It's gonna be good times that we're gonna be seeing happening in this game. Not good times for Stormer though, as he's getting charged into. We'll drop the Gale Force. It'll enable him to escape for now. And they're not gonna mount the full pursuit. Layla's being there does dissuade them. Still though, they could get some very decent damage, if not an outright kill right now, onto the tier 2 tower.
No, the push is good. They're not showing, though. It's funny. They win that fight, but they also are very aware. Still can't afford to die on their side of the map. Can't just give up these kills. We're still going to be extremely patient on TSM because it's not their game to lose at this point. If Nouns want to have a shot here, they need to be aggressive. They need to take more risks. Again, we have to wait for Roche. It sucks to say it this early on, but without it, Nouns' lineup cannot approach the high ground. We can't see them actually push for the win until they have that in Yuma's inventory. So we're stuck waiting. TSM, they haven't taken any shot at the tier 2s, any real shot. They're just waiting for all of their ultimates to come back online. They might even wait for daytime before they go for another smoke here. To them, it doesn't matter. They really are in no rush.
They can just ride this one out. They're chilling. Not too worried about what's going to happen. And sadly for Nouns, it's not like you're playing one of those games where you say, well, okay, our safe laner can't scale super hard, but at least our mid has infinite scaling, you know? Wind Ranger also caps out at a very particular point in the game. So, TSM, like you said, they don't have to do anything, and that kind of forces plays out of Nouns. You see them trying to make a move right now. But where can they go? Like, they've been steadily, slowly but surely losing advanced vision. TSM are also happy to play on their side of the map until Roche comes back. So what do you do in this interim period?
It's very frustrating because you don't have an easy initiation. It really is just Stormer finding that shackle shot. You don't have to show him the waves either. It's kind of the beauty of the Luna ST. You can just illusion out a lot of the map. But unless you find Bryle making a mistake here, that's really your best bet. And funnily enough, Brawl decides to squeeze in the Shadow Blade into his build, something we don't really see other Dazzles buy, because the Blink is just the superior means of initiation. But Tomato, baiting a little bit here, but do you want this?
I don't know if anybody wants this, actually. Both teams wandering into each other and sort of feeling like, yeah, I don't think any of us want to be here. Can we just back, please? Okay. They will just back off a little bit. I think they really want to retreat. Yeah, they're all out. Nobody wants to take the smoke.
Yeah. Even though Immersion's still scuttling around here. But Nouns still have the ultimate high ground. But look at this punch. Should let Stormstormer walk away, though. And yeah, they do. Nobody's committing. And neither should they. But look at that. 37 seconds on the Roche, meaning he will spawn up top first. But getting sentry control, getting vision control. Kasane is baiting right now. He's got bulldoze. He really can't die, but BKB committed.
BKB committed, so is the Supernova. It comes out, but they haven't slowed down Flies. We're going to try and right-click it down. The Nether Strike, though, stops it from happening. And while all of this is doing down, they target and kill off Stormstormer on the western part of the fight. He's dead. Joined in the grave by Fly. And the fight might not be over just yet because Kasane, can he catch vision of Yuma? I'm not so sure he saw him. Yuma has the bonus nighttime vision, so he might be able to turn onto Kasane, but they don't have the reveal. Shadow Blade ends up saving his life. In that fray, Nouns. Oh, wait, hold on. Hold that thought. Kasane went right back in. He's gonna find himself really wishing he just stayed out of this fight. Or maybe not. He was baiting with his life. He dies, yes, but he gives Tomato the 2-hero chrono onto Gunner and Yuma yet again. The Sunray is gonna bring Gunner low, force him to abandon Yuma to his own fate. The Luna goes down. 92 seconds in the grave. Kasane will die for that objective any day of the week, even though he has higher net worth. The importance of Yuma to his team cannot be understated.
No, and, well, I don't think he has buyback, so it's not like he could send it for that Roche bottom. But at least with killing off the Spirit Breaker, you do force TSM to make a tough decision. They're tapped a little bit right now. They still have 35 seconds before the wind respawns, so they could probably get Roche in that time frame, but it's a little bit of a difficult decision here if Nouns really wanted to fight them. But Roche goes bottom. Now it's the Ags, the free Ags for probably Immersion at this point. I feel like the Walrus Kick definitely has a little bit more value than the Faceless Void Ags, but it really depends here. They are trying to move out onto the map, though. 10 seconds. They could get here, but I think with the tag team, it's just 10 seconds too fast.
Goes down. Tomato will scoop up the whole lot for now. And like you said, passes it over onto Immersion. And they just get out of dodge. Now it's like, 10 seconds. Man, Dota is such a game of fine margins. What can you do?
They were making the move. They knew what they wanted to do. It was a timing that they could play for that Kasane almost gifted to them. But that's also why they decided to support their teammate. Get the kills. Because they got the Luna kill, it almost ensured the Roche in itself. So it makes sense. But 25 now on Tomato. I don't think Kasane got any of that XP, but it doesn't matter. Double Midas, he's level 25 as well. And now TSM have Aegis, they've got Cheese, they've got everything they could have wanted. I think the only way for Nouns to really get the initiative back in this game is purely by out-team fighting their opponents here. Out-team fighting Chrono Egg Spirit Breaker. It feels like they're going to need a miracle of some sorts at this point.
Gunner's been trying to build up this Wind Waker, finished the Yules just now. So they are starting to think towards the future of possible tools against Tomato, but now we see Stormstormer. Is he just going to die here? Forced to pop a BKB. Does get out, so BKB charge in exchange for the Supernova. Yeah, the charge is already at 6 seconds, so I guess it doesn't matter too much for him. But it is very scary that a Phoenix could almost solo kill you effectively in the mid lane.
Yeah. No, Whiteman's on something else. All of his plays, they've been so confident. Even though his X been getting killed, it's just because he's so ballsy. He's out in front. His Bryle, Stormstormer, both reacting to each other. Very scary situation, especially Immersion with the kick here. And he's going for it. Kicks him forward.
That's the kick out. There's no BKB. He just used it in the engagement prior to this. So Stormstormer ends up dead. Punished for his positioning. And, you know, he didn't know who had the Aegis or the Aghanim Scepter, but gets kicked for his troubles. With his death, might try to push for more here. They have everybody available and waiting. They're going to try and force the buyback on the high ground. They might not have Luna Shadow Demon, but they are no slouches either when it comes to pushing down towers.
No, Tamada's just gotten to that point. He does actual real damage now. He's got very few defensive items, but it doesn't matter. It's enough. It's fine. Glyph will get refreshed, but as soon as that creep wave comes in, it's time. Maybe a little bit of miscommunication there. Kicks away the hero that they go in on with the SB, but walking out, still 40 seconds, no wind. It's very, very difficult for Nouns to find an angle here because they show too many heroes, then simply Yuma gets chronoed. They find ever that Shadow Demon. The game might just end.
Damage being done onto the melee barracks. They're going to take it. Ideally, they would like to get some pickoffs here so they can take more away from Nouns. Will they go for the tier 3 tower? 20 seconds until a Wind Ranger is back. Stormstormer really doesn't want to buy back at this stage. Might be forced into it if they don't want to sacrifice 2 lanes here. Fly getting charged. They break him, but not enough to kill him off just yet. And looks like they have weathered the storm. They're looking to kick back Yuma, but he gets off the Manta style, outplays Immersion. And Immersion gives up his life to give the rest of his team time to escape, but they don't want to let this happen. Stormstormer, he's outside the base right now. BKB pop, but they don't even care about it. They do way too much damage. The Wind Ranger, she just respawned and she's already dead. And now Yuma's in danger. They have Chronosphere, but they don't need it either. As Bryle gets a double kill with his Dazzle. How did they even get there, ET? What the hell just happened?
No, he TP'd in on the outpost. They tried to find this angle. They saw the immediate retreat from TSM and then tried to find that punish, but now Wind buys back. Luna has buyback as well, but if you buy back in front of Tomato right now, he just chronos you, and then the game ends. You don't survive that. As Gunner, okay, trying to kick back Bryle.
Okay, not going to be able to find the kickback. Immersion kicking back Fly in the meantime. Bryle still alive with the Shallow Grave. He does get purged though, and the power shot brings him down. That's a massive kill for them. They also have buyback if needed. Chronosphere, Gunner, and Yuma. How does he keep catching them both at the same time over and over and over again? Tomato bashing down Yuma will be able to kill him off. Gunner will fare no better. He's trying to delay, buy time with the Yule Scepter, but his fate is sealed. He dies off, so does the Shadow Demon. Tomato went off to murder Stormstormer all by his lonesome. So Fly trying to hold back the sky all by himself. He's not going to be able to do so. He's losing his life while Gunner, he's just only using people up. That's all he can accomplish right now. He doesn't have damage to kill any of these cores. Kasane charges in after him. The roar will not save you. There's the Nether Strike. Gunner gets bashed up and he's dead. 2 minutes in the grave. No buyback. And that should be the game, ET. The golden letters haven't been sounded just yet. But TSM know what's up. They know there's no way for Nouns to fight them. And they know that the first game is theirs. GG, well played is called. Team Solo Mid defeat Nouns Esports in a scintillating game in the upper bracket final.
Oh, well, I'm feeling stressed out, but there we go. Post 45 minutes, Faceless Void, Spirit Breaker, Dazzle. It's just too much. It's too much to play against. Nouns, they had their shot in this game. They had their push. They